Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Steve.
We are a recently retired couple who loves to travel.
So we flew.
One of the advantages of going on a tour company on a bus is that the tour company devises an itinerary that would be hard to duplicate without a lot of research and work. Finding spots to stop at for just an hour or two that wouldn't make the final cut for a destination spot, but are a perfect place to get off, stretch your legs, and discover a hidden gem that you wouldn't otherwise do so on your own.
The disadvantage with some of these hidden gems is sometimes they're so beautiful and wonderful that you wish you could stop and spend more time exploring and enjoy.
One of the places that we stopped on our way to Granada was Puralina. This is a town that is well known for its unique cave houses. Our bus was able to stop and we were all able to get out and enter into a cave home that was still lived in by a family, but open for tours and visitors. Over the centuries, residents have adopted this unique architectural style of a home. Some of these dwellings have been in families for generations. Carved into the hillside, they offer stable temperatures within and have been modernized with electricity and plumbing as the years have gone by. The one that we visited did have a wood burning stove for the particularly cold days in the winter. Water came from a cistern at the top of the house.
These homes were originally built by people seeking refuge, including Moors during the Reconquista, and later became permanent homes for the locals, especially farmers and shepherds. An advantage was that originally they weren't taxed. Many cave homes have been adopted to hotels, restaurants, and museums, but also they're still lived in by average families. The cave house we visited was the residence of our guide and his family. We saw the kids doing their homework, the dishes, drying dishes on the side of the sink, all the normal things a family would have, but the house only had windows in the front of the house.
This stop was perfect. There was no way we would have found this with unique attraction on our own, and we would have zeroed in on the big cities and the well-known sites. An hour or two was perfect for pictures and understanding this area. Our next hidden gem was a town called Peninsula. It's right on the coast, and it was a brief but welcome stop that gave us a little time to walk along the beach on a beautiful sunny day. While this area had been settled by Iberians, then the Romans, then the Moors, the castle that sits on the Peninsula really came into its own when the Knights Templar took it over in 1307.
There was a climb up to the fort, so we separated. I climbed to the top, and Laura decided to spend that portion of the day enjoying the sun and the beach. Its real historical significance came in 1394 when a disagreement arose over who should be pope. There were, for a short period of time, 3 popes at the same time, and for several years, 2 popes. One of the popes, now regarded as an anti-pope, lived in the castle in Pensacola. He was affectionately called Papa Luna, but his formal name was Pope Benedict XIII. During those difficult times, he made Spain his base and had the castle heavily fortified. Today, the castle has excellent signage to learn about the Pope and the castle's significance in history. Many of the fortifications that they put in at that time remain today. The view from the castle is amazing, and you can see how easily defensible it was. Shortly after his death, the Pope problem was fixed, and only one took over back in Rome, and both Spain and France lost their rival popes.
While most of the locals were still wearing jackets, some of us enjoyed the mild temperatures, the sun, and a few of us even got our feet wet in the Mediterranean. This area is a popular spot for vacations in the summer. We had a few hours to explore the site, which allowed us to learn some of the history and enjoy the beauty. That seemed to be about enough time, and if you're traveling in the area, it's worth a short stop before heading on to better known locations. The next place that we stopped was a beautiful little hotel in Torremolinos, which has a beautiful beach. This was kind of a resort place, and it is a vacation destination for many Spaniards. This was more of a stop to relax by the pool or the beach.
In the 60s, tourists were beginning to discover Mijas, and they would make the trek up the hillside. It is high on some hills overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. It's quite breathtaking. This was our next stop. These tourists would ask farmers for a lift up to see the city, and apparently there were not good roads to the top of the village in those days, and the farmers had carts pulled by donkeys, and so they started taking tourists up on their donkey carts. And eventually a new revenue stream was introduced, and even today you can ride donkey taxis through the city to see the sights.
In Mijas, there's a small chapel, more like a hermitage, called the Chapel of the Virgin of the Rock. In 1582, 2 children had a vision of the Virgin Mary at the location of the church. The visions continued for a time, so the people erected a shrine at first, then a small chapel. In honor of the vision of Mary, the locals placed a doll of Mary that they elaborately dress in various costumes throughout the year, often in clothing of the region to commemorate Mary's appearances.
The city is quaint. The buildings have a clean, whitewashed look. It's a charming city. The donkey taxis are fun to ride and just to view. This brief stop was interesting and informative. We were able to get a good feel and some great photos and create some memories in the few hours we spent there. So if it's on your way, it's a great place to visit, and you really only need a couple of hours.
On our way to Madrid, we came to the city of Avia. Now this one we were only able to view from a distance, but this is a town in Spain that we had never heard of before. It was not one of our destinations, but we stopped at a great viewpoint outside the city that allowed for great pictures. This is definitely one of the cases where we wished we could have stopped and explored more. This appears to be a town worth more than just a picture moment.
Avia is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's been described as the most 16th century town in all of Spain, which is saying a lot since a lot of towns look like 16th century towns. It's known for its breathtaking city walls, its number of Gothic and Romanesque churches, its medieval architecture. Its ground was continually fought over between the Moors and the Christians for centuries until the Christians finally took control of the area for good in 1088 as they slowly retook the Iberian Peninsula. The walls were erected in the century that followed.
As you can see, the view from outside the city is breathtaking. It may be one of the most stunning walled cities you've ever seen. We look forward to going back and exploring it further. This was one city that we wished we could have had an overnight to explore within the city and not just look at the city walls. If we go back to Spain, we want to explore the city more than just the tour allowed. Our next stop that we want to talk about is our stop in Gibraltar. Gibraltar is quite often a destination that people seek, and certainly most people have heard of the Rock of Gibraltar or the monkeys that live on the rock or the fortress that is there. So it's probably on most people's radar. We've included it here because it was a quick visit and one that can be done in part of a day, so that while it isn't hidden or unknown, it is good to make it part of your stop if you're exploring anywhere in the vicinity.
First, I had no idea Gibraltar is a peninsula jutting out from Spain. I'd always thought it was an island off the coast. It's always played a part in the defense of Spain until it was ceded to the British in 1713. Spain and Britain have had disagreements concerning it over the years, with the dictator Franco trying to force Gibraltar into capitulation, similar to how the communists put a stranglehold on Berlin. They didn't succeed, and it's remained in British hands.
The other surprise was that Gibraltar isn't just a fortification. People live here still. There are shops, hotels, schools, churches, even a mosque. The mosque was built in 1997 and is the southernmost mosque in continental Europe and one of the largest mosques in a non-Muslim country.
We toured inside the rock, which has miles of caves and roads. The military used the caves during World War II with 1,700 troops stationed there. The interior of the rock is still used today. We did a tour through St. Michael's Cave, which ended with a spectacular light show. The cavern is huge and is often used for concerts.
And of course, a trip to Gibraltar would not be complete without posing with the monkeys. The babies are especially cute. They are allowed to roam free on the peninsula, but are not allowed into Spain. But occasionally one escapes and has to be brought back.
We spent several hours in Gibraltar, and that seemed to be about the right amount of time to see this bit of the British Empire at the edge of Spain. We look forward to visiting more and sharing more with you as we see it.
We hope you enjoyed this little bits of small places to go visit, and happy travels.